Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In your sohbet on the Badr night, you mentioned the critical importance of teaching our children and the next generation about the history of Islam and Islamic heroes. Is it acceptable to do it by theater? For example, in Turkey, there are radio stations that take the stories of the Sahabi and play it as a drama show with voices for the kids. Is that allowed? Is that the right adab to teach Islamic history to our children?
To the children, you may. To the children, you may. If you want to use like voices, for instance, is good. Of course, you are not going to dress up. You're not going to have theater like that too much. It's not too good to do that. Because the voice now, you are free to imagine what they look like and everything. For the children, you may make them to watch certain things that have already been done. Why I'm saying not to do it by yourselves? Because these are holy people. You don't want to bring them down to a very low level. Someone is going to play this, someone is going to play that. You're not going to do that. You have to watch the adab, and more importantly is you need their blessing, because these ones that you're telling the stories, they are not dead, they're alive. And you need to ask Allah, you need to ask the Prophet ﷺ, blessings and permission, and these holy ones also. Every time you mention them, the blessing reaches, their presence reaches. So to teach the children, depending on which age, let's say up to 11, 12 years old, certain things you may do. They can watch certain things, movies that has already been made, because you are not directly doing that, just for them to get some feeling, some passion about it. If they're really young, certain things you may do. You can do voices and other things that you may do to show that they are not, even if it's like, in the Turkish way, although they don't tell the stories of prophets this way. Hacivat and Karagöz, they have the shadow puppets, but they don't use it to tell the stories of the prophets. They don't. In all of this, do not underestimate the power of just simple storytelling. Just have people sitting in front, one person to speak, to tell a story. Do not underestimate it. Don't think that you need more, you need more, you need more. You don't really. It's always been from the beginning, and it always be. At the end of the day, it's just people talking to each other to convey. Your kids, I'm telling all those kids, you gather them and you tell them, someone who's equipped, someone who knows how to. In the old days, it is a very special skill that you have to be as a storyteller. He's going to use his voice, he's going to use the techniques of the text, and he's going to make you to imagine things that you cannot imagine, but he's not going to put his picture there. So you are going to imagine it, but that is very effective. Get kids to sit around and you tell the story through your face and through your voice and through your body language, and they understand. And it is now, you are not saying this is it, you're pointing to something else. You're saying it's like this, but it's more than this. Once you make it to be very clear, like a dramatization or something, it's as if you are making a reality from that. The word they use is verisimilitude. You're trying to say that this is exactly how it's supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be. Those kinds of things, personally, I say it's very limiting, and it is wrong. Okay? But for kids, it's okay. Because sometimes you watch too much of that and you think they really are like that. It's not. But yeah, tell stories when younger that they are. Even when you do something like shadow puppets, it might be interesting because you're trying to tell them also that this is just, it's not like that, it's more than that, and it's just a shadow. It's not real. Yes? I mean, I grew up before the azan for Maghrib comes on. 1 hour, 2 hours before, especially in other parts of the world, in Malaysia, they will show all these Egyptian dramas, right? You know what Egyptian drama I'm talking about? The lives of the prophets. And especially if so interesting, they make it to be, because they're Egyptian, so they make it very big, very nice story about Hazrat Musa, of course, right? Because they're Egyptians. So that's something they're going to show. They have actors, you know, kind of like in costume and all of that. But it was, we know they don't look like that, but it's very effective. And, you know, they show Musa alayhi salam, but when they want to show his karamats and his mujizat, right, they would take it from Hollywood movies and just put it in there, 10 Commandments, you know, so suddenly there, and then you say. But at least it makes us to become more alive and more connected. Alhamdulillah. So,